Today, we are diving deep into the arrival of our very first. It's a rank mail model in Neverness to Everness, the incredibly powerful Chaos. This unit is making a massive splash in NTE, and in this video, we will break down his complete build, explain exactly how his abilities work, analyze his top team compositions, and see how he stacks up against the current meta at A0. Let us start by looking closely at how to optimize Chaos with the right equipment. His absolute best option is his signature weapon Arcane. If you do not have it, alternative weapons are definitely viable, but you can expect them to perform about 20% weaker unless you happen to have a fully refined fluff of ferocity from the battle pass, which narrows that gap significantly. For his equipment set, the absolute go-to choice is the Street Boxer console set. When you are rolling for stats, look for critical rate, critical damage, attack percent, and damage percent. For the main cartridge stat, you want to focus on LACRIMOSA damage bonus or critical damage. Be careful because Chaos can easily overcap his critical rate, especially when his signature weapon is active. He also gets a massive boost to critical damage from Type 3 modules. Since you can fit a total of 4 modules while maintaining your Street Boxer set bonuses, you can accumulate a staggering amount of extra critical damage, making his raw damage output incredibly impressive. When prioritizing his ability levels, you want to maximize his basic attacks first, followed by his ultimate, then his skill, and lastly his support ability. Looking at his actual mechanics, the kit for Chaos is straightforward, but hides a few clever interactions. He functions as a primary DPS unit whose gameplay revolves around managing a unique gauge known as the crime bar, which fills up to look like a massive scythe. He relies heavily on triggering the Remora reaction to reach his peak damage potential. His standard basic attack sequence is a 5-hit combo that builds up roughly 300 crime points, and you will need a total of 1,000 points to completely max out the bar. His heavy hold attack behaves differently depending on how much energy you have. A standard hold attack on its own deals very low damage, but when your crime bar is completely full, holding down the attack button consumes all your stored crime to unleash a devastating, heavy-hitting variation. You should always wait for a full bar before executing this move. Additionally, utilizing your dodge counter, which is called Critical Repost, rewards you with a quick 100 crime points, making it an excellent tool for faster gauge management. His active skill allows you to apply a special debuff called Warrant to up to 2 targets simultaneously, boosting the damage they receive from Chaos by 20%, which climbs even higher once his second passive talent is unlocked. This skill also awards you 100 crime points upon execution. His ultimate ability deals exceptional area of effect damage while immediately applying the Warrant debuff to every single opponent caught in the blast. More importantly, activating his ultimate forces Chaos into the Dread Echo state for 12 seconds. During this window, he passively generates 150 crime points every single second, allowing you to chain his powerful enhanced hold attacks back to back. The absolute hardest hitting mechanic in his entire kit comes from his first passive ability, which drops a massive damage instance right when the Remora reaction expires on a target. If you manage to extend the duration of Remora, this specific passive damage can be multiplied up to 4 times over. This makes a teammate like Hathor incredibly valuable since she drastically extends the base lifetime of Remora. Just keep in mind that applying multiple Remora reactions back to back will not trigger this massive passive hit multiple times, so timing is key for an effective combat rotation. You want to lead with his skill, then cycle through your other party members to set up all your necessary buffs and elemental setups. Once your setup is ready, switch back to Chaos, activate his ultimate, and execute his 5-hit basic combo right into his enhanced hold attack. Repeat this sequence until the Dread Echo state ends. Then use his skill once more before rotating back to your support units. Outside of active combat, Chaos brings a lot of utility to open world exploration. He can place down up to 2 custom teleportation landmarks using his companion doggy. On a fun side note, holding the interact key summons the teleportation point, but a simple press allows him to put on or remove his mask. He also provides bonuses to the sea angler activity for those who enjoy fishing, and his plunging attack can help reveal hidden enemies in the surrounding area. When looking at the best team synergy, his premium setup consists of Zero, Hathor, and Haniel. Zero is incredibly vital because her skills enable immediate Esper cycling, which is essential for maintaining the Street Boxer set bonus since it requires active Remora or Stain reactions. While many players build Zero with cycle intensity for other team archetypes, that stat does nothing for Chaos because Remora cannot be boosted by it. Instead, build Zero as a pure sub-DPS focusing on traditional critical stats. Hathor is the next indispensable teammate because her passive directly amplifies Chaos by extending the Remora duration to maximize that massive 4 times multiplier damage pop. She also raises the critical rate of the whole team when targets are affected by Remora. Because of all these overlapping crit buffs, it is incredibly easy to hit the critical rate ceiling, reinforcing why you should hunt for critical damage or LACRIMOSA damage bonus on your main gear stats. Haniel fills the final slot perfectly as a dedicated buffer who increases total attack and triggers the Stain reaction, making enemies take 20% more LACRIMOSA and Psyche damage. You should build Haniel with plenty of cycle intensity to push this damage bonus even further. If you need alternative team options, you can swap out Zero or Hathor for Hattori, though it will slightly lower your overall peak damage. If your team requires active healing and survival, Fia can step in to replace Haniel. Chaos can also find a home in a dedicated Blossom team alongside Juan and Zero, with either Haniel or Sakiri taking up the final position. For a more experimental approach, you can even pair him up in a break-focused composition with Daffodil, which is highly rewarding but best suited for players who are already very comfortable with advanced mechanics. Ultimately, Chaos at A0 performs beautifully alongside the current top-tier DPS units in the game. His gameplay is easy to pick up, though you can optimize his damage further by using advanced movement inputs to cancel the end animations of his enhanced hold attacks. His premier team composition matches the power level of the strongest meta teams without completely power creeping the existing roster. His vertical investment through awakenings is not strictly necessary for free-to-play players, as his most impactful early upgrades sit at the 2nd and 6th awakenings. A fully maxed out whale investment Chaos can expect to roughly double his baseline damage output, but for most players, he is an absolute powerhouse right out of the box at A0.